Okay, hi everybody. So now I'm going to be demonstrating the second operation for the State Board Practical, which is the thermal curl. So previously we did the 15-minute setup, and now this will be the 10-minute thermal curl. So first what I'd like to do is read through the Canada Information Bulletin, the procedure. So we will be performing the thermal curling iron. You'll perform 2 curls on top, 2 on the side, and you're going to make these curls form from base to end so they're nice and sturdy. And you're going to follow client protection. You've got your drape on and your towel. You want to make sure that you use your comb so that you don't burn the scalp. You'll have 10 minutes to do this procedure, and you will be notified when you have 5 minutes remaining. So 10 minutes for 4 curls is pretty easy. So I believe that you can do it. Just remember that most people don't want these 4 George Washington curls in real life, but what they want to see is that you have uniform curls. Also, you don't want your barrel curl to be longer than 3 inches, and you don't want your base section to be any larger than 1 inch, which is your curling iron. You also may bring in a spring-loaded curling iron if you prefer and you don't like the Marcel, but I like the Marcel and I think it's such a professional tool that I would just keep what's in your kit. If you do bring your own curling iron, you need to make sure that it can't be bigger than 1 inch diameter. So make sure of that. All right, so now I will begin the thermal curl. Anything that you do in State Board, you want to make sure that you are taking a good sectioning. You have a nice plan. If you do things messy, the proctor's going to notice. And sometimes we get a little bit nervous that's what makes us seem frazzled, and then you can just kind of set yourself up for failure. So just remember to take deep breaths and know that this is just the basic skills of cosmetology. So you can do this. So now you just want to make sure that you don't have anything wider than 3 inches here. And I just sectioned this back part off. Okay. I think that's good. So the first thing that I want to do is take my curling iron and this neck strip or anything that's white paper and gently glide this through. Make sure that there's no yellow or brown on this white paper, because what that does is shows it would be very hot. So that's what you're doing. You're checking for client protection. My curling iron is at a nice safe temperature. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the garbage can, sanitize one more time, and then I'll begin. All right, when you're using the Marcel, I'm going to make sure that you're feeding it through, having your comb at the base, so to protect the client's head, and then slowly feed the hair through continually until you get to the ends. And this will give you a nice formed curl all the way through. Another thing to make sure is that when you get those ends in, that they're nice and neatly tucked in and there is no fish hook, because they will look and see if you have a fish hook. Then at the end, I like to kind of tuck my teeth right in here, the teeth of the comb, and just slowly click out. And it just kind of holds it right there. There we go. For the first curl. If you need to set your curling iron down whenever you're sectioning your hair, that's fine. Another thing to make sure is that your cord is in a nice spot. It's not hanging right around your feet or curled up or knotted up, because having your curling iron cord in a good position is important too. You don't ever want your client to trip over it or you trip over it. Okay, I'm feeding this through a little bit more, protecting the client's head, and feeding it all the way through. This is another good reason why you want to pre-cut your doll head, because if you are doing these curls and the ends are uneven, you probably will get a fish hook. Now I'm going to slowly let this curl come out as well. You know, if they don't turn out just perfect or how you like them, you can kind of reform them just a little bit, set them on there. They will, as you start going down the side of the head, start to be just a little off base just because of gravity. So now I'll be doing the 2 on the side, and you don't have to go all the way down. You just need to do 2 starting right at the corner here, right on the side by the parietal ridge, and move down. So since this is going to go off base, I kind of want to over direct it a little bit further back so that it's not going to hang too low. And I'm still once again holding the comb underneath to protect the client. Feed the hair through a little more. What I really like about the Marcel curling iron is that it's ergonomically correct, so your wrist doesn't get sore. So that's one of the reasons why I like to tell my students, you know, get used to using the Marcel because it will help you in the long run. All right, we got 3. So that one's a little bit not looking good to me. So I'm just gonna kind of resituate it. It's kind of hanging on to this one. Just kind of get it in there. Set it. And the more you do these, the better you will get. So whenever my students first start trying doing these thermal curls that look like George Washington hair, they freak out. And they go, oh my gosh, Miss Lauren, I can't do it. But you'll get there. Anything takes time. I like to say fail sometimes is a good thing because it's your first attempt in learning. So if you are trying something and you fail, just know that you're going to learn from it and you'll get better. If you do fish hooks on the curling iron, usually you're going to learn not to do that because it's not a pretty look. And then curl this last one. I kind of just like to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to put those teeth in there and just kind of help guide it out. So you don't have to hurt yourself. You don't have to burn yourself. Put that curl in there. And another thing students have asked is, can I use clips to hold these in place? You can use clips, but I recommend not using clips because it's just one more step you have to do. So you have your 3 curls. It's probably kind of hard to see here, but the holes are there. So you've got 3 curls. 1, 2, no, 4 curls. There we go. There's the 4th one. My 3rd one's a little wonky. Anyway, you might miss a couple points and that's fine because, you know, not everybody's perfect and you're just in the beginning of your cosmetology career. So, you know, if they're not all perfect, you want them to be, you might get docked 1 or 2 points. You know, I say practice makes perfect, but nothing is ever 100% perfect. I've been teaching for many years and in the industry, and these, you know, they're okay. They'll pass. And I sanitized. I'll sanitize again. Turn off my curling iron. And I step back and wait for the proctor to come over. Once she's done and she's checked the curls and made sure if there's no fish hooks, then I'm going to unplug my curling iron, set it over here. If I have the time for it, I'm also going to disinfect the cord because that's what they taught me when I went to the, what was it? It was some new thing at the state board that was last September. They were saying everybody needs to clean their cord. So of course, that's what we're gonna do. And you're also gonna make sure the cord is up and out of the way so that nobody's gonna trip on it. So I'm gonna set this way over here. And now we're done. Thank you for watching.